90% of investors who think they're buying cheap are walking straight into a trap.
By the end of this video, you'll know the exact PE ratio range that has historically given investors better odds, and the one number where cheap quietly starts meaning dangerous.
Quick note before we start. This video is education, not financial advice. I'm not a licensed advisor, and nothing here is a recommendation to buy or sell any specific stock.
Stay until minute 8. The most important lesson is there.
Here's the punchline up front. Based on decades of value investing research, including the work of Fama and French in the 1990s and Joel Greenblatt's magic formula studies, profitable companies trading at a PE below 10 have historically delivered better long-term odds than the broad market. The sweet spot for beginners sits roughly between PE 5 and 10 in companies that are actually making money. Below 5, you enter trap territory. Above 10, you start paying for hope. So what is a PE ratio? PE stands for price to earnings. The formula is simple. Stock price divided by earnings per share. If a stock trades at $100 and earns $10 per share, the PE is 10. Think of it like buying a small business. If a coffee shop earns $50,000 a year and you pay $500,000 for it, you're paying 10 years of profit. That's a PE of 10. The lower the number, the faster, in theory, you get your money back. But here's where most beginners get tricked. The PE only tells you what the company earns today. It says absolutely nothing about tomorrow. So why is PE 10 the magic line? 2 reasons. First, math. A PE of 10 equals an earnings yield of 10%. The company earns 10 cents per year for every dollar of stock you own. In 2026, with U.S. Treasury yields sitting around 4 to 5%, a sustainable 10% earnings yield is genuinely attractive. Second, history. The S&P 500's average PE in 2026 sits roughly between 22 and 25. A profitable company at PE 10 trades at less than half the market multiple. That's a meaningful discount, but only if the earnings are real and sustainable. That if is doing enormous work in that sentence. Most PE 10 stocks fail that test, which is exactly why the screen alone isn't enough. Now, the dangerous part. Why isn't PE 3 even better than PE 8? Because below PE 5, you enter what value investors call value trap territory. Stocks this cheap almost always have a reason. Maybe earnings are about to collapse because the industry is dying.
Maybe last year's profit was a one-time asset sale that won't repeat.
Maybe the company is drowning in debt that's about to be repriced at higher interest rates. Maybe management is hiding something. Cigar butt investing, buying terrible companies for almost nothing, worked for early Warren Buffett, but it required forensic analysis most beginners simply don't have time for. The sweet spot is PE 5 to 10. Cheap enough to matter, expensive enough that the market still considers them viable businesses. Here's what no PE ratio will ever tell you. Quality of earnings. Is the profit from real operations or a one-time sale? Debt. 2 companies at PE 8, one debt-free and one drowning, are not equally cheap. Growth. A PE 20 company growing earnings at 25% per year may actually be cheaper than a PE8 company shrinking at 10% per year. Industry context. Banks naturally trade at lower PEs than software companies. Comparing a bank to a chip maker by PE alone is meaningless. Cash flow. A company can report profit on paper while bleeding actual cash. PE is a thermometer, not a weather forecast. It tells you the temperature right now, not whether a storm is coming. So here's a beginner framework you can actually use in 4 steps. Step 1. Exclude unprofitable companies entirely. No earnings, no PE, no shortcut. Step 2. Focus on PE 5 to 10 in genuinely profitable businesses. Step 3. For any PE under 5, ask one question. What's broken? If you can't find a satisfying answer within 10 minutes of research, walk away. The market is usually pricing in something you haven't found yet. Step 4. Never own just one. Every value strategy that has ever beaten the market, going back to Benjamin Graham in the 1930s, was tested on baskets, 20 to 30 stocks, sometimes more. Concentration in a single low PE stock is not value investing. It's gambling with a value disguise. And here's the most important lesson, the one I promised at the start. PE ratios feel like certainty. A number, a ranking, a clean answer. But every value investor who has ever beaten the market, Graham, Buffett, Klarman, Greenblatt, has said the same thing in different words. The number is the starting point, not the conclusion. The real work begins after you find the low PE. Why is it cheap? Is the reason temporary or permanent? Will this business still exist in 10 years? PE is the door. The investing happens on the other side. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. A low PE is a question, not an answer. Now, in honest closing, because YouTube's guidelines require it, and you deserve to hear it plainly. Nothing in this video is personalized financial advice. I don't know your income, your debts, your goals, or your risk tolerance. Before any investment decision, please consider speaking with a licensed financial advisor in your country. All investing carries the risk of losing money, including everything you invest. Past performance, including every academic study I referenced, does not guarantee future results. This video also uses original narration, scripted by me, with custom slide visuals. Any AI tools used in production are disclosed in the description, per YouTube's synthetic content policy. Use this video as one input among many, not as a directive. If this changed how you look at PE ratios, the most helpful thing you can do is leave a comment with your country and what you'd want covered next. Book value, dividend yield, free cash flow, debt ratios. Real comments help YouTube understand who actually needs this video. Subscribe if you want more videos that respect your intelligence. See you in the next one.